Hey guys, can you play Magic the Gathering? I mean, can you take your knowledge of the lore and build entire worlds, planes, with just the cards that Wizards designs for a set? Does Wizards even allow us to build decks like this with the products that they release? We're going to explore that on this channel, crafting decks with entire sets. Marvel superheroes, Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, Final Fantasy, Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit, and of course, actual Magic the Gathering planes. I can't wait to do the series on all blocks of the Innistrad saga, walking you through the story and crafting decks with you. Ultimate Magic is a deck crafting guide. While deck building engineers a deck to win competitively, deck crafting is a creative philosophy of deck design that balances flavor and theme and lore, as well as playability. We call it Ultimate Magic, but it's not a new product and we're not affiliated with Wizards of the Coast. Rather, this is just a different way to think and explore the same game you love. And if you're new to the game, I think this is an exciting way to start. If you came here because of Marvel superheroes, then this is going to feel like you're playing the comics or the movies. For those of you that are longtime players, this is going to feel fun, fresh, and flavorful. It might even give you a new perspective on this game. It did for me. When I was new to Magic the Gathering, I sort of had a different expectation. At the time, I thought maybe Magic the Gathering was just strictly a card game. But the card art and the flavor text seem to indicate that there's something behind them that's grander in scale and more fantastical than just simply loose cards. It's as if Universes Within has a full story there hidden behind the cards, no different than Universes Beyond like Final Fantasy. Many of you probably already know there is a story, and it's fantastic. Really, go online and read it. It's filled with so many likable characters and epic moments. It's really some of the most interesting fantasy I've come across. Okay, maybe it's not Tolkien, but it's a game and it has fun stories behind it. And with Universes Beyond, you can have the Lord of the Rings integrated into this game. With these sets, Magic is now bringing in beloved franchises with years and sometimes decades of well-known stories. The list is only getting bigger, and you may find yourself wanting to build decks that feel genuine and are consistent with the source material. Okay, let's say you want to assemble the Avengers and maybe make a little mischief with Loki. Okay, but I hope you wouldn't do that in the same deck. Wow. Please don't. And heroes and villains archetypes aren't really synergized anyways. Let's say you're a Lord of the Rings fan. You wouldn't put Gandalf and the Witch King in the same deck, would you? What is the point of battling with these specific legendary characters if it doesn't resemble the Lord of the Rings franchise?
Don't be stupid.
So, on this channel we'll be crafting decks that put story and flavor first. We'll do each set as a series, starting with Spider-Man, which is available in episode 1. You can watch it now. So let's go over the rules of deck crafting. Ultimate deck crafting has 4 simple rules, and you should only violate these rules when it's absolutely necessary. In particular, when the story calls for you to do so with the cards that the set provides. Rule 1 is set restriction. Decks should only consist of cards from the same set, and they should only be played against certain other decks that you've built from that set. For example, you might want to put Blood Artist and Viscera Seer in the same deck because they share color and synergy. But they come from different sets and different planes within the Magic the Gathering multiverse, so canonically they don't belong in the same deck. But like the other rules, there will be some exceptions to set restriction. One notable example is the Soul Stone. Released in the Spider-Man set, it was clearly intended to be used with other Infinity Stones to be released in future Marvel sets, including the Mind Stone being released this month in the Marvel Superhero set. Both of those sets have Infinity Stones and Spider-Men, and women. As long as you're adhering to the source material, feel free to combine these sets where it makes sense. Rule 2. Every card in the set must be used at least once. This is what makes deck crafting with Ultimate Magic something special. You won't be just using your favorite or the best cards in the set. You would be using all the cards in the collection and putting them to use, as intended by both the card designer and the author of the source material.
We knew we had to do Mjolnir, so Equip Worthy was one of the very first things we did, but eventually we said, okay, Thor's gotta pick it up, Captain America's gotta pick it up, I don't want Dr. Doom picking it up, and we figured out, okay, legendary, red and white, not villain. Find out who's worthy in your game.
Rule 3. Decks should faithfully reflect the set's themes and lore. They should represent the story, factions, characters, themes, and events of the lore or source material.
To a blushing bride.
And every card must have some kind of thematic, narrative, mechanical, symbolic, or flavor relevance to the deck. Decks and characters should interact in ways that make sense within the story and timeline. You should know that you don't put Spider-Man and the Green Goblin in the same deck because they are arch rivals. But it would make sense to have them face off on opposing sides, and put Mary Jane in the middle. For the most part, Wizards design these cards to be played against each other in this way so that you have that experience. Rule 4. This is still Magic the Gathering and the rules apply. But since this is casual play, we'll bend the rules only when it's required by the lore and the set gives us no other choice. For a quick example, let's look at Markov Waltzer. He's 2 colors, red-white. He's a non-legendary creature, but he's full of flavor. As a dancing vampire, he represents the story of the Crimson Vow, which is a wedding between Edgar Markov, progenitor of the Innistrad vampires, and Olivia Voldaren. My preferred commander for this deck would be Edgar, Charmed Groom, but there's a complication, he's white-black. And my other choice for commander, the bride Olivia, is black-red. So I either have to break a Magic the Gathering rule, or one of our ultimate rules, and find an alternative like this more famous 3-color Edgar Markov from an older timeline in a different set. Third option, I just pretend this card doesn't exist and I don't play it in commander. So I'll build a standard 3-color deck that's a union of the characters. I'll need to do that anyways if I want to have the groom's finery and the bride's gown in the same deck. So now you know deck crafting with Ultimate Magic, and it's time to craft some decks. Our first series will be Spider-Man. We'll try to use every card released as part of the Spider-Man Commander and Standard sets, Secret Lairs and promos, making hero and villain decks. And then we'll reenact key moments from the comics, and we'll answer the ultimate question, can you play Magic the Gathering? The story.